Hello, everybody. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to discuss free Japanese television programs created with the express purpose of selling plastic toys to tiny children. And if you have a problem with that, get the fuck out. Anyways, one of those shows is going to be ending, one of those shows is hitting its halfway point, and another is just getting off to the races. But before we get into all that, Buster, what have you been up to this week?
Not much. It's back to school season, so I'm attending my college classes.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. But it's also, this is taking place at the same time where I don't just have to make a video on the new Kamen Rider, but I kind of have to make a video on the recent Sentai?
You don't have to. You decided to.
Yeah, I know, but
You
like...
brought this on yourself, you fool!
Well, I'm actually, I'll be frank, I'm more excited for the Sentai video, but the Kamen Rider is doing well, so go check out my Geats review. It doesn't talk about the finales, so you can just, if you want to hear my finale thoughts, come here.
Yeah. Where can they check that out, by the way?
At the Buster Corp YouTube channel. Where else?
What's the @ sign?
At Buster Corp. At Buster Corp. It's pretty simple, man.
If you're gonna plug your shit, then just say check it out, youtube.com @BusterCorp. Don't fucking blade it. I'm trying to streamline this bitch.
Okay.
Speaking of streamlining, I'm not fucking using Twitter anymore as of today. I fully migrated over to Blue Sky because Modular has a Blue Sky account now. There will still be a few Modular Twitter posts this week, but after that, it's real fucking up in the air if I'll ever bother to post stuff on there, because I'm fucking done with all the drama that tends to ruminate on Twitter, and I don't like all the changes Elon is making to boot. So I'm just going to hang out on Blue Sky, because it's a lot quieter and a lot calm there. I can just get in there, see a few funnies, see some news, and get out.
And yeah, I'm on Blue Sky now, too. So.
Yeah, so that's at bustercorp.bsky.social and at thevacuuminator.bsky.social. So if you have an invite code, go follow us there. I don't know if there's any tokusatsu news accounts there yet. I haven't seen any. So probably won't be any news links from Blue Sky for a little bit, but definitely none from Twitter starting next week. So if we start missing like some smaller news stories, like some minor shit people point out from scans or like TV guides and whatnot, we probably that's why, because it's not getting posted on Blue Sky or the bigger Toku news sites. So probably going to be a shorter news section starting next week, but if you want to,
we've already been kind of streamlining the news stuff.
Yeah, this week there was a lot that kind of grabbed my interest, but we'll get into that as we go. But before we go, and to make sure you listen next week, don't forget to help us out in the algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell in order to enable notifications so that you get all the uploads as they come out. You can follow us on social media. Modular's Blue Sky is modularmedia.bsky.social. We also have a TikTok where we post clips from the episodes. That's at Modular Media. And we have a Tumblr, which is at Modular Media. But that's enough plugging and tugging for this episode. Let's get on to the actual news links. Our top story this week, Kamen Rider Geats announced that there's going to be a little special Goofy Blu-ray episode. Exclusive to the last volume of the Blu-rays is going to be Master Michi Day, which is essentially going to be a hyper battle video.
Yeah, Michi Naga gets the spotlight and gets to do funny stuff.
Yeah, Baraba and Sarah are wearing funny outfits, so be excited for that. Are you excited, Buster?
No.
Are you excited about the Memorial Dino Brace?
Yes.
Okay, cool, because fucking Abaranger Red did a video for Bandai where he demos how it works, and you can watch that if you want.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it will actually be an affordable DX memorial item.
Oh man,
it's only simple, because it's only like $80, probably because it's how simple it is.
Yep. More of that, please, but probably never. Anyway, we got a bunch of Gotchard scans this week. Not too much new. There's one form we hadn't seen before, which just... I think it's, what is it, is frog and mushroom, it looks like?
Wait, I'm clicking all the links, give me a second. Is it on the third one?
It's on the second one.
Second one.
Looking at this. Fourth image on the second link.
I see it. It's like frog propellers.
Yeah, either way, it kind of looks like ass.
It looks funny. It's supposed to be a joke form, you know?
Yeah, but I don't like joke forms. I don't like the suits in this show in general. So, but yeah, you get a better look at his bike. You get a better look at Valard. You get a better look at the fucking weirdo lady villains. So if you want like a very pixelated look at all that stuff, go look at these scans.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to actual kind of exciting news, because we were talking last week, we're getting more details about the Senchoku Seihou Fies, and apparently some people already have it in hand. I've been seeing some figure photography of it on Instagram this week, but Bandai announced this week that the next Senchoku Seihou for Fies isn't Kaiksa, it's the horse Orphnoch, which
that makes sense.
Yeah, from what I know of that show, that makes sense. Though it's just kind of surprising because it's rare that villains get SHFs, and even rarer that they get Senchoku Seihous. Like, I think the only other villain who's gotten a Senchoku Seihou is Shadow Moon.
Probably. I feel like Apollo Geist either got one or is due for one.
He got a regular Figuart, but he hasn't been Senchoku Seihou'd yet. I don't think he's from X, right?
Yeah, X.
Yeah, X doesn't have a Senchoku Seihou yet, so whenever X gets a Senchoku Seihou, maybe he'll get one now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing looks really, really good. One thing I always say about Fies is, like, it had immaculate suit designs across the board. I love the look of the Orphnochs, and this Figuart looks like a great representation of the horse Orphnoch. Even if you're not into Kamen Rider, this could be just kind of a cool horse knight man action figure to mess around with.
Yeah, I am tempted because Kiba is one of my favorite Fies characters, so I'm like, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, it is a premium Bandai release, so it will be a pretty penny. 800 or 8,800 yen. Let me fucking convert her that real quick. That's $60, which is not terrible for Figuarts, actually. So, coming out in March of next year. So, save your money now, as well as
pre-order it.
Yeah, as well as fucking save your money for all the Blade nostalgia merch we're going to be getting next year, because Toei announced there's going to be a Kamen Rider Blade 20th anniversary stage and talk event, which is essentially it's a fucking con panel, but you're paying just to go to that. And it's going to have all 4 of the Rider actors, and they're just going to talk about their memories of making Blade. And if I were a betting man, I would bet dollars to fucking donuts they're going to announce a Blade 20th anniversary movie there.
Yeah, no, that's going to be interesting, because Blade After content is wild. Yeah,
because they acknowledged the Geo episode.
No, because remember, at the end of Geo, everything got reset.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Geo episode, but I think I'm in the minority of Blade fans who do.
The Geo episode that is fucking tied into Blade is, like, one of my favorite episodes of Geo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, like, here's what I'm thinking, because, like, are they going to mention Go Rider? Because Go Rider is technically Blade After content.
Oh, yeah! Fuck!
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Granted, that was more of a Kizaki's, like, in limbo because he's not human, alive, nor dead. It's wild. Blade is wild. It's one of my favorite Kamen Riders, so I will definitely be eating this up.
Blade's a fucking fantastic show. Don't believe what anyone says. The whole show is good. It doesn't get good at episode 13. It's good from the start, and it has 4 very different but very interesting rider characters who all have arcs that go throughout the whole show and intersect in cool ways. I fucking love Blade. It is an underappreciated classic in my opinion.
You know, for all the arguing we're probably going to do in the following weeks when Gotchard comes out, I'm glad we can fully agree on Blade.
Yeah, fucking watch Blade, go on my throne and buy me a Blade Figuarts. Anyway, Kamen Rider Geats is getting a VCinext project. It's going to be coming out in July of next year, even though it looks like it's already completely shot.
Just all of these cinemas, though.
Yeah, and it's essentially going to be a big Michinaga focused after story. He's going to get a new form called Poison Rage, which has a big fucking arm gauntlet shield thing that looks like the head of the Pokemon Shield on, so that they can sell a new Raise Buckle toy.
I do like the raise buckle.
Yeah, the Raise Buckle looks good. I don't love the form.
Yeah, I'm not sure how, like, I think I like it, but silver is an odd choice for a
Mhm.
color.
It's better than like some other VCinext forms we've gotten in recent years. It's just I don't feel like the colors play too well, and the helmet looks really busy in my opinion.
Yeah.
I do love like the fucking chainsaw fingers on the gauntlet though. That's awesome.
That's raw. Like,
Uh,
this will at least make a good figure art, I think.
Yeah, so hopefully that turns out well when it comes out. But talking about things that are about to come out, Ultraman Blazar is on its eighth episode this week.
Well, we're covering the seventh one. So.
Wait a minute, let me just scroll down. Yeah, it's on its seventh episode this week. But thanks to a Japanese TV guide, we've discovered that in episode 10, Gento's family is finally going to make an on-screen appearance. He's taking his kid to the zoo at the start of the episode, it looks like.
Yeah, or like that'll be like the entire plot of the episode, and then the monster attacks, and then conflict happens and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm really fucking looking forward to that because the concept of human dad Ultraman really intrigued me at first, and I was starting to legit worry they hired those actors just to take a photo that he'll look at occasionally.
No, don't worry. Oh, and if you want like a human dad Ultraman from the start, the secondary Ultraman of Geat. I think you'll like Geat a lot when you get around to it.
Yeah, perhaps eventually. But we also have a trailer this week for Avatar Sentai Donbrothers versus Donbrothers, that after movie that's happening. It's going to be coming out in November. Somebody actually subbed the trailer, so I'll have links to the subs down in the description along with all the other news links. And this looks about as wild and as fun as I'd expect a Donbrothers after movie to look.
Yeah, and like with how long this is taking, will this be like longer than 20 minutes? Will this be like 40 minutes? Because like I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but like this might be longer than the average Toei Tokusatsu fan club special. And so this is like the last confirmed Donbrothers thing that has besides the inevitable King-Ohger crossover that is yet to come out. And I'm very excited for it, especially after the recent one was very fun. So this is gonna be fun. And also, Jiro gets a new form. He gets to wear the gold Momotaro thing.
Mm-hmm. Also, it looks like there's a fucking evil alternate universe Zenkaiger Black that I'm excited to see. He's called Ultimate Rival.
That's Stacy Caesar.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, that's Stacy.
I thought that was like two Kaitos being green screen on. Let me rewatch the trailer real quick.
Yeah, Stacy's in the special. They confirmed that from the beginning.
I knew Stacy was going to be in it, but I could have sworn there was a shot of two Kaitos on screen together when that line was said.
No, it was just Kaito and Stacy.
Hang on, I need to confirm this for myself. Oh, it is! Holy shit! He's on screen so quick, I must have missed it the first time. Alright, well, fucking whatever, that'll be fun. Also, if you're into Shodo, the Shodo team posted a teaser image for Shodo Nejirangers this week. Just great sculpt prototypes of them. Looks pretty good. Actually, the proportions on them look a little better than most Shodos, in my opinion. It's probably helped out by how much more armored looking those designs are compared to regular Sentai suits.
Yeah, Nejirangers are some of my favorite designs in Sentai, honestly, so it's exciting to see more figures of them.
It's interesting to hear. I've never particularly loved them, but I don't think they're bad designs. They're just not really to my taste, you know?
That's fair.
All right. And on with recent Sentai news, we have a new poster for King-Ohger Season 2. I'm using the most massive, my arm stretched all the way out, air quotes I possibly can there, because it's just the next episodes of King-Ohger. But they're marketing it like it's a second season because there's new baddies coming in. And also, it's finally confirmed, everybody. Daigo Kyoryu Red is coming back in October, and it looks like he's got a new suit to go with that.
Yeah, I will say the new suit actually like fits with the King-Ohger motif.
Yeah, it
Good.
looks like they just took a King-Ohger suit and gave it like the helmet and arms of Kyoryu Red, which I'm not
Yeah.
entirely opposed to.
Yeah, Kyoryu Red's a good suit. Either like whatever your feelings on Daigo is, like, and we get all knowledge, like Kyoryu Red is a really good design.
And also, I did realize this today. If they have him in there as like a main character for a little bit, it gives them a good excuse to just stop having to put a transformation of Gira turning into Founder's Glory or whatever it's called every episode. Because I've noticed that in the last couple episodes that there's like a token 2-second scene of him transforming into that mode because that's the toy they're selling right now.
Well, based on the poster, I think Founder's Glory is just going to be his base form from like now on until he gets another power up. Which I don't even know if the Gold King-Ohger will get another power up because it's like that's already a pretty final formy suit.
That's true, but we are like only halfway through the show, so I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
there'll
like
be like a full team power up in another, like maybe that's what happens in Daigo's last episode is like he bequeaths them a chunk of Kyoryuger power that gives them a full team power up or something.
yeah. Also, a bit of theory spitballing. I think what they're gonna do based on this poster and Daigo's placement. They said something. I haven't rewatched Kyoryuger in a bit. I will soon. But like they said, King was like the king of Earth, right? Like of something. He said something around that lines. What
You
if?
came up with that idea in a call 2 nights ago. I have never seen anyone officially say that anywhere.
I swear I heard that once. And maybe I'm just like going nuts, but like what if they make King the king of his own like thing as like the universal battle continues and then that's just a pit stop on their battle or some
He's
shit.
the king of his own thing. He's the king of whatever plot of land he's standing on right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I have idea, but I do like the new villain designs. They're very expressive.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've got a link to look at the full suits right below the link for the poster. I don't love them. They look a little over designed, in my opinion.
I think they're interesting. It's a nice, like, I love the main guy, the king of the universe, as the preview calls him. He has a really, like, especially his
I
mannerisms.
kind of hate him the most. I think he looks like a ridiculously overdone, hard to move around in suit.
I don't know. I think the suit actor's doing his best.
Probably. The blue guy's okay though. I like the kind of ninja look of him. I
Yeah.
expect him to be like a bit. I expect he'll have like a really hardcore rivalry with Yama for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and the
that's all
other
I
one
gotta say.
sure do exist. Uh, Anyways, speaking of stuff that sure does exist, we talked about the announcement or leak, I can't remember which, that this was gonna happen a few weeks ago, but this week we got the official announcement of the premium DX Kamen Rider Geats Raise Buckles. There's going to be each rider's main form plus the boost buckle. They're going to have sized up, resculpted handles that will more so comfortably fit an adult hand, and they'll have the actors saying key lines from the show. So if that really trips your trigger, go shove all your money into Bandai's Gaping Maw because these things are probably fucking expensive.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say.
um Anyways, moving on to toy news that is actually kind of exciting, I think. Right after the Geats finale aired in Japan, the official SH Figuarts account posted a teaser image that basically says they're doing Figuarts releases of all the side riders. They're doing them in their entry forms, which, if this is true, if they're actually going to do this, and this isn't like you'll get 2 of them and the rest you'll see at a bunch of Tamashi events, I think this is fucking brilliant on their part. Because you have that base body, just popping a new head sculpt on there, sell that for like 40, $50, a little less than a regular Figuart. Oh man, that's going to do gangbusters.
True, but here's my convoluted idea of how to make this work. So, like, have sets, like, you know how, like, Punk Jack and Dapon have similar head sculpts?
Mm-hmm.
Just have that bundled in as, like, alternate heads,
They
and then
have
have
already done Punk Jack though, but they could do Dapon and what's his name from the first episode.
yeah. Just you go. The idea is just whoever the resculpts heads, just bundle those together and like
So honestly, I wouldn't bundle those together. I put like a head and then a mismatched person in a pack and keep that up. Like
yeah,
put
that could probably be more
put
fun.
put Dapon and Mary in a pack, and then put Letter and what's his name, the old man, in a
The
pack.
owl,
Yeah.
yeah. And like what I'm thinking is instead of entry bodies, just have it be like the buckles we haven't gotten yet. I don't know how many we're missing, but like maybe do a couple of those.
I mean, they could, but they're very much teasing these as this is going to be the entry forms.
True.
I think the idea is they're going to sell these for a little less than what they've been selling the main characters for, and the marketing is going to be you can get your favorite character, but if you want them to have a cool armor and weapon, go buy one of the main characters.
Yeah.
That's very much a toy marketing kind of thing that I highly suspect they're going for here. And honestly, I'm okay with it because it's going to get a lot more characters than would have regularly been made in Figuarts made. So,
Yeah.
anyways, also in toy news, Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger DX Tarantula Abyss. It's a black and gold version of Tarantula Knight. It's P Bandai exclusive. It's the fucking little spider boy that was in this week's episode of King-Ohger.
I think that was kind of a brilliant way to incorporate this toy, like the way they did it in King-Ohger, where they didn't have him transform. It's just this is just another bug who's been abused by the Bugnarok, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I thought that way they incorporated the episode was cool. And it makes me a bit tempted to get this, but I'll probably get the original one if I want it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be fucked if I'm gonna make black and gold extreme King-Ohger, which somehow looks worse than regular extreme King-Ohger.
Well, that's probably because there's not enough color to like break it up.
Oh,
You know?
that's exactly why. But just Jesus Christ. Um, and continuing on with it's toy news all the way down. I'm sorry, that's what this is. It's a fucking these are children's shows meant to sell toys. What do you want from me? So fucking go buy toys at the Godzilla store. It's officially open now, and they have a lot more shit than I honestly expected. Because I remember when the Premium Bandai US store opened, and it was like free Gundams and one Kamen Rider thing. This literally every current Godzilla toy line is represented in some way, and there's a bunch of cool exclusive apparel that I'm kind of tempted to buy.
Oh yeah, the t-shirts look sick. I might. Oh, the Kaiju Icons one looks cool.
Mm-hmm. And you
also,
can get
Burning
Mega
Godzilla.
Godzilla socks.
Ooh, yeah, I need some socks. Sure.
Yeah, let's pay $40 for Mecha Godzilla socks. That's not how much they are.
Or $375 for a 1984 reversible Sukajan Godzilla jacket. I need this.
Yeah, jackets are fucking weirdly expensive, I've found recently, especially if they have any kind of fucking licensing or they're like a particular brand. Godzilla socks are only or the Mecha Godzilla socks are only $13. I might actually get those. That's pretty good.
Going sock shopping at the Godzilla store.
Hey, can you boy get some Jet Jaguar and some Gigan socks, please? Buy those.
That's gonna be your new collectible addiction. Socks.
Yes.
Godzilla themed socks.
Fuck 6-inch Hasbro figures. I'm buying socks now, baby. I can't wear them though because I got to keep them minty fresh.
Interesting. Speaking of minty fresh.
Yeah, we just like a couple of hours ago got an official announcement of the big toy for the FI's 20th anniversary film, the CSM FI's Driver Next, which is essentially a sleeked up FI's gear, and it looks like that's a smartphone instead of a flip phone.
I think it looks neat.
I think it looks neat, but it doesn't look like a toy I want to play with. It looks like if I really love this movie, I would want to have this on display somewhere. But like pre-orders for this go up tonight.
Yeah.
Or wait,
and even
no.
as a FI's fan, I'm just like, nah, I'll wait later.
Correction. Pre-orders start October 20th. But even then, that's before the movie comes out on fucking home media, before most people will see it. I would never fucking pre-order something this expensive for a movie I haven't even seen yet. What are you doing, Bandai?
Yeah. I mean, hey, Fi's fans are a ravenous bunch.
They sure are. They're like rabid, rambling rabbits. Anyway, speaking of rambling, Buster, you want to take us on to the new releases?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. Rambling. I'm just typing the thing you just said down. All right. Ultraman Blazar, Episode 7, The Rainbow Appears, Part 1. Hey, Vac, are you familiar with Ultraman Gaia?
I'm not, but this episode reminded me a lot of the politics that were on display in Zet, and I liked it for that reason. Like, this feels like the next evolution of the ideas that were being played with in that show, just framed in a different way here.
But are you familiar with Ultraman Gaia?
I'm fucking not!
I'm just joking around. But yeah, I know a lot of people and me have been saying, yeah, this gives like the theme of the the kind of back and forth Gaia presented between Gaia and a ghoul represented with Gento and the professor. But yeah, I can see some Zet vibes, mainly because it's the same production crew.
Well, that's why I went there immediately, as I was like, oh, this is kind of like when Haruki had to struggle with the idea that I might have to kill kaiju that are just trying to protect their own. And it seems like we're going in that direction, but from a different angle here, where the professor is like, yo, fucking most of the kaiju are part of Earth's ecosystem too. We're just trampling all over them, and that's why they're getting mad at us and rampaging. We're kind of the assholes here. And I think we're starting an arc here where Gento's going to have to deal with that and try and find a middle ground for himself, and possibly even come into a conflict with Top Brass Guy, because remember, he was very much just like, no, you guys have to fucking start killing kaiju before Ultraman can, because we can't look weak.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that, like, well, even from previous episodes we've seen, because there's been episodes where they don't blow up the monster, they just put it to sleep. I think Gento is very much a guy of like, I will do whatever it takes to get the mission done, but if I can get the mission done without killing the kaiju, I'm gonna take that option.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And also, I really like the conflict between Gento and the professor. Like, that was, especially, I watched the dub, and that was probably Johnny Young Bosch's best performance in the show so far.
Really?
Yeah, I consider it.
I watched both, but I didn't really get that vibe watching the dub. I think I just have different tastes in voice acting, but whatever. Yeah, no, it was really well written. I also like the little details in this of like they remind you that what happened last week does matter. There's a little bit where they're like, "Hey, remember, engineering guy, don't push yourself too much."
Yeah.
And what's her name? Spy Girl. She's not around until like halfway through the episode because she's off getting recon and shit. I like that we're keeping those things up. It's not just in their individual focus episodes.
Yeah, it really feels like they're people are constantly working towards goals, like in the episodes and missions, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, they even mention second in command guy's farm.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
It's good stuff. Good continuity in Ultraman Blazar, and I feel like we're really about to start getting to the story and the themes of the show in earnest here, with Gento getting his ass handed to him for the first time ever, really. And I think he's going to have to reevaluate some things in the next episode.
And we kind of already heard that Gento's going to get a new finisher, so maybe that's where that's coming from. So
possibly,
yeah. Like, I kind of like the idea that instead of forms, he collects finishers. At least so far. We'll see how it all plays out.
But
it's just a solid episode. Just really entertaining. Really thought provoking, especially with the professor and Gento's interactions. Like,
yeah, I love how that whole fishing scene is shot. By the way, that felt very much like we're in a different area of this series now. Like, this is a little more introspective, a little more. We're trying to say something here because it's all these wide angles and nobody's shot dead on. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Just generally good episode. Can't wait to see how part 2 wraps it up.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Here comes the highlight for the finale of Kamen Rider Geats, episode 49, Daybreak 1. Here comes the highlight.
I really liked this episode. I thought this was a great finale. I had a few small little nitpicks, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. And you know what? I want to give a huge, hearty congratulations to the Kamen Rider fandom for doing something I thought was impossible. But over the last 48 hours, the Kamen Rider fandom on the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers has actually managed to be more annoying than Power Rangers fans. Way to go, guys.
I thought we're never going to mention that franchise again.
I can mention if it's for comedic effect.
Okay, fair. What happened? All right, what happened? So just get all your nitpicks.
A lot of people aren't happy that Keiwa's becoming a cop, and they think the message of Neon's little after scene is, oh, just stalk a girl hard enough and she'll fall in love with you.
Okay,
I'm like, y'all didn't fucking pay attention, did you? Because
Neon 1, though, where you're all coming from, you're all clowns. But the Keiwa one, I do agree it could be better. I wish it was a firefighter, not just because of the moral implications, but because who was the first character we saw in Geats that was like helping Keiwa? A firefighter.
Yeah, I can understand coming at it from that angle, but I also am like, knowing Takahashi's other shows and knowing his politics in general and knowing the fact that he didn't write Black Sun, you idiots, he probably would think like, yeah, the best way to become somebody who preserves peace as an average citizen in Japan is to just become a police officer. And here's the thing. Keiwa can still be a good cop. Joining the fucking police force in Japan doesn't mean he's going to be like an American police officer and just immediately become a crazy, corrupt, jackbooted thug. Keiwa can be like now the third good cop in Japan. He can join Axel and Drive and being like one of the good cops in Japan. And who knows, maybe he'll even move to another city and get assigned to a special division and meet all the Dog-Engers and go on all kinds of wacky adventures. Because I just realized this fucking week that both those characters are really similar.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, when's Dog-Engers getting subbed again?
Oh, please.
I need my Dog-Engers fix.
I need my fix. Y'all got any more of those Dog-Engers?
I mean, you could just watch the first 3 seasons that you haven't watched yet.
I really could. I'm gonna need stuff, and after I finish G-Witch this week. By the way, everybody, subscribe and turn on notifications to listen to Analytical Fanboys next week. We're talking about Gundam Witch from Mercury, and I gotta finish it in the next couple nights. But I feel like after that, I'm gonna want to start. I'm trying to get in the groove of like watching a show while I eat dinner, because usually I'll just scarf dinner down and start working while I listen to YouTube videos. I want to get in the groove of like watching an episode of a show while I eat dinner, and I was going to do that with G-Witch this week, and I still am, but I want to keep in that groove, and I certainly could do Dog-Engers, but like I downloaded that new Agito sub when it came out.
Ooh.
I might start watching Agito, and then when I finish 1971, because I'm watching 1971 on my lunch breaks at work right now, I might watch a Sentai or an Ultraman on Pluto TV. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the Geats finale. We went way off time.
Yeah.
I like the final fight with like everyone versus Seoul, especially the way Trust Last is used. I thought that was really hype.
Yeah, the final fight is wonderful. I love it when they all transform together. I love that they fucking remembered that Gates has a bike.
Yeah.
I always fucking say this, but there is not enough bike action in modern Kamen Rider. So whenever a rider uses his bike, I'm always like, yes, let's go!
Yeah, and it's like a great way to like not just like, hey, it's tying into the first episode, but also to incorporate the Reiwa thing of you use your base form in the final episode that they're trying to do. They did that with 01, they did it with Saber, they did it with Revice, and now they did it with Geats.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the way they win is really fun and dramatic, and it also brings me to my other thing that the Kamen Rider fandom was annoying about this week. Stop calling him Fox Jesus, you fucking idiots.
He's Amaterasu. He's a Buddhist thing.
It's Shintoism. From the fucking beginning, this
Yeah.
show has been about Shintoism as one of the core themes. And
Yeah.
somehow, this fucking week, because he said he's a god and people were praying to him in this episode, every dumbass fucking American who has never read a book besides the Bible came out of the woodwork and went, oh, Fox Jesus, it's Gaim all over again. No, you fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, it's Amaterasu. Have you ever
Yeah.
guys played Okami at the very least?
Like, my God, no wonder Japan has the stereotype of Americans being loudmouthed, stupid cowboys who just fucking eat cheeseburgers all day. Because
I have a lot more respect for the ninja now.
yeah, the one time we fucking talk about their shows and we just immediately go to the Jesus comparison. Like with at least with Gaim, it made sense because they were playing with biblical imagery in that show. But fucking Geats has been about Shintoism since day one. So call him Amaterasu, Fox Amaterasu, or call him a fucking just call him a Shinto deity and be done with it. Except, like, I don't know, maybe stop watching Kamen Rider and read a book, like any other book besides the Christian Bible, you fucking illiterate idiots. So anyway, the episode was really good.
Yeah, I like the fighting. Freaking when like, just speaking of the god thing, when like Geats announces himself as a god, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know, just the way the suit actor like moved in that scene, it really stimmed my brain.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked everybody's reaction to that, and the fact that they're all still right behind him because they're like, "No, we are friends. We are a weird fucking group of friends now."
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, seeing everybody happy, like seeing Michinaga genuinely happy just to be having a meal with his coworkers after a hard day of fucking building, made me real happy. The only thing that like I could level against this episode as a complaint, I wish we got a Ben and John cameo. I understand why we didn't, but it's fine. But like my boys, where's the V cinema for my boys?
I thought they were gonna appear here. That's super lame. I
Yeah,
will say,
it felt like they were teasing them during that first bit of Neon's scene, but then they reveal it's Kyun. Which, like,
I mean,
how did get back from the future, but also Jean's back, so who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I like Kyun and Neon's like friendship anyway, so I am okay with it. And like, yeah, also, I love that. I very odd. I don't think we've ever seen a commentator do this using the movie ending song from the Geats Revice movie at the end of the show.
Oh, that's
like,
from the movie. Okay.
Yeah, that was from the Geats Revice movie. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna reuse it here. All right, it fits.
Yeah.
It fits, especially with the theme. Also, I like the Gotchard cameo.
Oh, the Gotchard cameo was so fucking. That's the best fucking cameo for a new writer at the end of a show I have ever seen. Like it, I used to be like, nah, it's fucking Gem coming in and styling all over the Ghost Riders in the penultimate episode. But now I'm like, no, this. Because he doesn't even transform. There's no like, oh, wow, that dude's super cool. Look at his crazy powers. It's just, you see the face actor doing something briefly, and then he doesn't even see Geats. Geats shows up after he walks off camera or runs off camera, and it's just like, I bet that dude's going to have some fun adventures. And that's it. That's all you fucking need. I am a little bit hyper-controlled now because of that.
Yeah. I also just like how it tied into the themes of the Geats finale of, like, you too could be happy, of, like, Ace being like, I hope that kid finds his happiness one day, because he looks super stressed right now.
I love that that's where the show comes down, too. Like, we don't create a fantasy world at the end of the show where everybody just somehow is magically happy. It says, Geats has now created a world where everybody has a fair chance at happiness as long as they are willing to keep working towards it. He's created the ideal version of what our world is. And I fucking love that. That blows the ending of so many other Toku shows that end in a remaking of the world out of the water.
I mean, I still kind of prefer builds. I had to bring it up. I'm sorry, you bring up remaking the world at the end of a writer show. I'm like, build.
I've been listening to some podcast episodes about Build recently, and I've been thinking about that show again. And I just want to make it clear, I do really like Build. I thought it was the the best writer show, the best writer show we've gotten for a while. Like, nothing has managed to knock it out of the water until this episode. I'm kind of tempted to say Geats is the new best writer show we've had in a long time.
Say, like, thematically, sure. I guess this brings us to our final thoughts on the show, as it is.
Geats spoiler cast, engage.
All right. I mean, we've already been spoiling the end of the last episode already.
Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about in the episode specifically. Just, is Geats good?
Yeah, it's good. I think it's just more like little things that prevent it and just like taste things, but overall it's a fundamentally great show. I think it's a great show.
It has a few stumbling blocks here and there, but nothing that like ruins the show. Nothing that drags down a huge chunk of it like Revice had. And I think the aesthetics will generally be to most people's tastes. Like,
yeah,
it's not like Saber, where I'm like, I don't love Saber's aesthetics, but people tell me the writing is great, so I will watch Saber at some point. And I can imagine a lot of other people not watching it just because they don't like the aesthetics. I think Revice has such a good, not generic, but like generally appealing aesthetic that ties into enough general ideas and mixes them all together in a fun way that most people can understand, that Geats is always going to have like an evergreen appeal just off the poster. And then the writing and the ideas and the way it explores the themes of desire and how life really revolves around that, and all the social commentary on the entertainment industry is extremely well done. Like, I'm going to say it, this is Takahashi's best work.
I think I prefer X-Aid, but that's just because that was my first writer show while airing, so I might have a bit of bias there.
Oh, you definitely have bias there, but that's okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think like Geats is the culmination of everything Takahashi's been writing to this point. I will say it's his.
And even though I've liked all his shows, I kind of hope this is Takahashi's last writer show. I kind of hope we just go, this is the Takahashi trilogy from now on.
Yeah, like I hope he comes back to Sentai after, especially because he wrote High School Heroes, and that was one of the best things we watched on this podcast. So
let him do a Sentai, or better yet, let him do an Ultraman.
Ooh, I wonder if Supra would actually let. All right, they did let Sakamoto do a bunch of Ultraman stuff. We'll see. Yeah, like I think I'm confident of saying Geats is Takahashi's at the moment magnum opus. Now, magnum opus doesn't mean it's his best work. It just means it's his most important work that all his like writing's been building up to. That's the literary definition of magnum opus. So I think I can safe to call it that. It's. I think I really appreciate.
I did just remember one little nitpick I have with the finale. Fucking secretary lady. Even though she has a bit of a freak out and gets sent back to the future, she kind of gets off scot-free, and she's done almost nothing throughout the show. Like, she's a pretty superfluous character. All I can really remember her doing of importance is she took away Gazer's belt that one time.
I think she killed Niram?
Yeah, she like gave... He was beaten, and he was clearly gonna die, but then she came in and she was like, yeah, we're done with you now, and took his belt, and he fucking disintegrated or whatever. Yeah. And I was honestly... I remember after that scene being like, oh, she's gonna turn into Gazer, and one of the secondary characters is gonna blow her up while Geats is blowing up Suel. And that didn't happen for some reason.
Well, that's just more like expectations versus like what the writer intended, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a minor problem. It's up there with Ben and John don't ever come back after Buffa turns evil. But overall, Geats is an incredibly solid show. I'd say, depending on my mood, it's either an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I think I'm confident it's a solid 8. So, I guess like what else? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. I think I'm just padding that segment. We'll just move on to King-Ohger.
Yep.
Alright, last pre-time skip King-Ohger episode 26, A New Kingdom Rises!
I didn't really like this episode.
I liked it.
I thought it was kind of lame.
Explain.
Maybe it's just my own expectations, but like, the fact that there's so much extra shit they do to try and flesh out the Bugnarok and the Defnarok as a character, it kind of feels like too little too late. Like, you were already pushing it in the last couple episodes, building up to this one as being his death episode. But then in this one, after like exploring and finally giving us a reason for why he hates the humans, they go, oh, but maybe he's actually sympathetic though, and maybe Jeremy's gonna try and redeem him. Oh no, he's dead now. It feels like it's just a last minute thing to make you actually fucking hate Jim Jam now that he's gonna be the main villain. And I didn't like it. It felt a little cheap. If they had played it from the beginning, like Jim Jam or whatever the fuck his name is, I don't care. I'm just gonna call him Jim Jam because that's how it sounded when they said his name all angry this episode. If they had played it like he was manipulating Rock from the beginning, and maybe Rock didn't actually want to go to war, but he felt like he had no other choice because of intel Jim Jam was giving him, I might have been ready to be a little more sad this episode about all the stuff we learn about him and him then getting betrayed and blowed up. But as is, it just felt like you advertised this was going to be a big 22-minute duel between him and Jeremy, and then you gave me a bunch of other extra shit I didn't ask for.
All right, I'm gonna have to disagree on having Jim Jam manipulate everyone, because here's the thing: I think it's more impactful if the Rock just decided to do all that shit because that's what he felt was right. I think that's just more compelling and less cheap. I think that's just me. And like
I agree that it's compelling for him as a character, but I'm saying it feels cheap that they hand it over to Jim Jam to just kill him at the last second and go, nope, I was manipulating you, and now I'm the supreme asshole.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, but they kind of killed Jim Jam anyways, so it's like it just kind of felt like, oh, we need to get rid of him for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit. I did like the character moments of like Gira and Jeremy talking to Rock. It just like after that, just kind of felt like, oh, we need to fight this episode. I kind of wish there was no fighting this episode. Honestly, I wish this was just like an epilogue to the first half.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but the reveal about what happened to the Wrath of the Gods felt a little cheap too. Like, it made sense as a way of establishing how Rock got so powerful, but again, it felt like too little too late. Like, it felt like we were building to something of like, maybe they have to fight off or defeat or tame the Wrath of the Gods at some point. And it's just, nope, they all got killed off screen. And also that's the explanation for why the fucking show gods joined with the humans all those years ago, because apparently the Wrath of the Gods got eaten a long time ago, even though we've seen flashbacks to not that long ago with them. And also, we were kind of playing it halfways about whether the show gods were actual living things or just machines up until now. I don't know. There's a lot about this episode that feels like we're making hard turns to get to the time skip that don't feel like they have enough time to feel natural or like they were planned out from the beginning.
I can understand that. I do. It is a bit rushy. I think I'm okay with it because I think most of the scenes are good. Not all of them. I agree. Jim Jam was a bit weird. I do like the final shot of this episode though. That was hype. Where it's like, this is only one planet. There's a whole universe. Get ready, suckers.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I think it'll be also interesting to see if Jeremy's narration is going to continue next episode, or if we're going to go to like, okay, that was him telling a story about how we got to the time skip.
I kind of hope it's the latter, but like I'm not opposed to the former, especially because it seems like from that ending narration he knows a bit about space. So
yeah, he knows it's the final frontier and that these are the voyages of the USS Enterprise.
Oh my god, this guy. Yeah. I do like all the little character moments we get as the first act wraps up. Although it's clear that, like, this is not... It does feel... I don't think it's as strong of a season finale as, like, a traditional, like, what you label as a season finale. This just feels like the end of an arc.
It feels like it's trying to give that vibe of, like, this is the last episode of the story we've been telling up till now. And, like, Sentai's going to be doing stuff for next year, kiddies. But it doesn't quite get there. It has that same problem that we've been talking about for, like, a good month and a half now with King-Ohger, where it feels like they'll successfully hit a denouement, and in the next couple episodes they'll be trying to force getting to one right away, and it won't quite feel natural.
I can understand that. Like,
Again,
but like
I
I'm
don't
still
think
excited
the
for the.
time skip was planned from the start.
We'll see. Yeah, I can feel like maybe it snuck up on them, like snuck up on the writer, being like, oh, I gotta like. But I still think it's planned. It was the freaking like
Yeah, it
the
snuck up on him. He walked on the set one day, and the toy execs were like, "So here's the new suit for Kyoryu Red, who's going to be in here in 15 episodes." And he was like, "15 episodes? Oh shit!" And he just starts tearing pages out of the script.
Yeah, or some shit like that. I don't know. You never know. You never know what's like. We'll find out in like a year or two, hopefully, if this what the hell did the intent behind the time skip is.
Yeah, or we'll ask Toku Chris next time he's on the podcast. Listen to Modular Components this week, by the way, guys. We have special guest, formerly Toku Chris, now Geek with Chris / More to Meets DI reviews. The guy who runs Toku Nation came on the podcast, and we talked about all kinds of evolution of fandoms throughout the years. So it's a good one. It's a good solid hour and a half listen.
Yeah. Do we want to wrap up? Like, do we want to do like a semi our thoughts on King-Ohger getting into the time skip?
I guess we can. I don't know. I feel weird about it, but like, I have definitely not loved King-Ohger like you have. I think it's not been a bad show. When it's good, it is very good, but I've oftentimes felt like this just, it feels like they're trying to do something and not quite getting there, is often the feel I get from this show. I really like some of the characters. I think some of the strongest character writing I've seen in Sentai in a little while is in this show. But it also does tend to get mired in trying to convey big, lofty ideals through a fairly simple plot, and a lot of the main plot stuff doesn't end up being as interesting as you think it's going to be. Like, I like the Gira and Recules rivalry. I think it's definitely the best brotherly rivalry we've ever had in Sentai, but I would not describe it as like a high point in terms of Sentai as a whole. I'm just like, yeah, no, this beats out fucking Geki and Barai, but I still wasn't like fully invested the whole way through like I would have liked to be.
Understandable. I think this is another banger Sentai. Like so far. Like I've been loving ever since Zenkaiger. I've been really on board with Sentai. This is especially because it plays into a lot of tropes and aesthetics I like. I just like the idea of knights and kings and shit like that in my hero shows. So of course I have a bit of aesthetical bias, but even then I just think the character writing is really good.
It's weird. I always like the idea of a fantasy story, but I can never quite get into a lot of actual fantasy stories. Like, I love looking at Legend of Zelda fan art. Never played a Zelda game for more than like 20 minutes.
You can just read the mangas.
I love hearing about Lord of the Rings lore. I tried to read the Lord of the Rings books. I'm the guy who got to Tom Bombadil and was like, fuck this. So, I don't know. I do really like the Inheritance Cycle. I loved those books when I was a kid.
Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, that's King-Ohger for now. We do got one more thing to talk about.
But I didn't watch it because I haven't seen Abaranger, so go off, Buster.
Alright, Bakuru Sentai Abaranger with Donbrothers. The Donbrothers are back in an all-new special with Abaranger setting up the 20th anniversary thing. Because basically, the way they set up...
are back with a brand new track.
I might use that. But like, yeah, so like, I'll just skip to the end because I think the ending is very hilarious. So, like, the Blue Abaranger helps Saru Brother do like a galaxy punch that defeats the monster of the week. But that galaxy punch tears a hole in reality. And then like a guy from the Abarangers, like I don't know if it's the past or if like a new villain they're gonna face in the 20th anniversary movie, just comes out being like, I'm gonna do some scheming. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's fun. That's good. That mixes the tone of Donbrothers with the Abaranger 20th well.
I also have seen a lot of screen caps from this today on the socials. It gives big what is it? The fucking Go Busters movie with the Tokume Sentai Go Busters versus Dobutsu Sentai Go Busters. It gives vibes of that movie, I think, from the few bits I've seen.
I mean, that's I think that's more accurate to describe the upcoming Donbrothers versus Donbrui special as that. But yeah, I could see that where it's like this is the Heisei Sentai meeting the Reiwa Sentai.
Yeah, they're just
And
making overt jokes about the nature of Sentai, is what I mean.
yeah, and it's charming enough, and they ultimately respect and work together, so it's a fun crossover. I'd recommend it. I love both of these shows, so of course I was gonna like this in some way. That's all I got to say on that. So, Vac, talk about your Kamen Rider episodes.
I watched another few episodes of 1971. I'm now up to episode 79. I've gotten to just before the Double Rider arc kicks off. I could have watched 80 on my lunch break today, but I chose not to because I've been doing that lately where it's like Monday I don't really feel like watching it because my thoughts of the episodes I watched last week are already pretty solidified in my head from over the weekend. Because the back half of this arc, like the first episode and a half, are a little wonky, like what I was talking about last week. But those last few episodes of the 70s really are strong. Like they almost feel as good as some early Heisei writing, I would say. The show just suddenly gets really good because it actually does a little bit of a plot about is Ambassador Hell a traitor or not, and can our heroes trust him or not? And obviously because it's Showa, it turns out no, he was fucking tricking them and pulling a goof the whole time. But it's still really well written, and there's some fun action set pieces in it, and it was a fitting end to the original version of Shocker, I thought. And I'm actually a little bit hyped to be getting into the home stretch starting next week.
Yeah, you're almost done with the 1970s, baby.
Yeah, until I decide to watch fucking V Free or whatever, but that probably won't be for a few years because of how long this has taken.
Take it, yeah, but hey, at least like it's been a memorable saga of your life.
Anyways, I heard you got into some heathenistic activity this week.
What do you mean by that?
You bought one of those disgusting fucking unmoving figures of a character. Those non-action figures.
Yeah, well look, Gaia doesn't have an SH figure art yet, to my knowledge. Because, I mean, Mabius got one, but that's because he's in Ultra Galaxy Fight as well as his own show. But I got the Gaia Supreme Brand Presto statue, and it looks really nice.
Does he come with a tube of cream cheese?
No.
Or sour cream?
No.
Damn.
You have to buy those on your own. They're not included accessories, man.
But if you're going to call it Supreme, it should have some sour cream. I'm just saying. Taco Bell has taught me one thing, and it's that Supreme means sour cream is included.
Well, the only thing Taco Bell's taught me that if you eat there, you're going to be on the shitter for a while.
People say that all the time. I have never gotten the shits from Taco Bell.
I have gotten it quite a few times recently.
I've gotten the shits from like some other fast food places. Heck, I've gotten the shits from Subway, but I've never gotten the shits from Taco Bell.
Alright, we should probably stop talking about our shitting. The point is, the Gaia Supreme statue looks really nice on my shelf, and I'm happy I got it. So... yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about this episode. Is it?
Damn. Is it? Is that it? Is that This Week in Toku?
Yeah, that's This Week in Toku, the last time we're talking about Geats outside of specials.
Oh my god. Buster, do you know what happens now?
We talk about Gotchard?
No, you tell the people where they can find your content!
Okay, yeah, you can find me at the YouTube channel Buster Corp. I just uploaded a whole Geats analysis, retrospective, whatever you want to call those majobbers. It's doing really well, so make it do even better by subbing and watching the video. Also at Blue Sky at bustercorp.bski.social. I'm just reblogging and posting a lot of funny screen caps of the things I'm watching. Also, I just got an invite code, so I gotta give that to someone. Anyway, Vac, show your stuff.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm usually pretty proud of. I'm actually going to be doing a stream tonight when this podcast comes out. So go subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. It's at the Vacuuminator. I'll be doing a stream later tonight talking about some of the content creators that helped get me into Tokusatsu, as well as unboxing a couple of SH Figuarts. So if you want to hang out around that, it'll be at around 9 p.m. p.m. EST, because that's the soonest I can get to my computer and be fully set up after work, because I work second shift. But yeah, do that. Also, follow me on TikTok, where I post clips of my older YouTube videos. That's at @the_vacuuminator, and that handle is also used for my Instagram, where I post daily action figure photography. And I have a Blue Sky and a Tumblr where all my content tends to get collated. That's at the vacuuminator.bsky.social on Blue Sky and thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. But folks, that's going to do it for this week in Toku. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.